Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, shout out to Scissor Fist. That is their song, Burden. That is now our new official theme song for the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're here on YouTube Live. We were slightly delayed because, as I was telling the guys as we were getting rolling, we're trying to experiment a little bit. This year, we want to show live on Roku and Fire TV through OBS, but I was messing around with it a little bit. I had it casted to my TV, with it up on my TV. As soon as I hit go live on YouTube, it said this stream cannot go live, so I had to exit out of that real quick. All right, this is the way it works, but we are here live. Of course, anything can happen when you're live, and of course, for those of you tuning in, make sure you comment here on YouTube Live. And for those of you who may not know, unfortunately, our guests could not make it here tonight. Things come up, things happen. So, the whole thing is me. I'm one of those types of people. I'm kind of like, I don't try to be anal on no shows or anything like that. But if you know that you have something coming up or whatever, or you have things going on or whatever, that's fine. But I don't, like, sometimes people schedule stuff and don't realize that things happening. So unfortunately things happen. We're going to try to get her rescheduled down the line. But as I said, and I tell every other guest, we're so booked ahead. Like, I literally just locked down February today. Nice. So I literally got back from my graphics guy, the first graphic for February, which will probably be announced momentarily, at the end of this broadcast. So Rob from Sexual World Records, how you doing, man? It's been a little bit since you've been on the show.
Doing good. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Things
Year.
are good. Just like last time, we're finishing up the magazine. We got 2 weeks to launch.
Nice.
Website, same time frame.
Nice.
I'm kind of was bummed out that I think it's Alyssia. Alyssia couldn't be on because we DM'd her a couple weeks ago. You and I were on Twitter together, and I was trying to find out if that was her doing what we saw on Twitter as far as a Sexual World Records. So I'm trying to get in touch with her. I had somebody from my staff reached out to her too on Instagram. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean she seems like she's a really cool girl. We invited her to come onto the show because she just started liking a lot of our posts. So I guess she's one of those ones that through another guest who was on or whatever, she started to see the content. She started to watch content. So I was like, this is going to be an easy get. So messaged her, boom. She was like, I would love to. I love your content. And unfortunately, she's stuck. Like, there's bad weather coming where she's at. She says she was going through a lot of stuff. Yeah. She felt so bad. She's like, let me send you money or something to compensate for your time. I'm like, look, we're not like that here.
Yeah.
Like, just keep enjoying the show. Like, I told her, I was like, I'm the type of person that if show our show, I will never book you again.
Right.
But if you at least message me, give me a little bit of a head up that you're not coming, then fine. That's 100% fine. Puts me in a bind because I can't find a replacement guest because I like to try to have a guest every week.
Sure. Yeah.
But it happens and it's understandable and you'll get yourself rebooked. I coming from pro wrestling, I'm one of those ones that, I like, cards subject to change, but also if I advertise something, I like to deliver. So make sure everybody watching at home, if I advertise something, I will go to great lengths to deliver. And even if it's a guest dropping out, I will go to great lengths to find another guest so you guys can have a guest. But unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen. So you're stuck with our handsome faces tonight for about 2 hours of show. So, of course, shout out to Pod Nation. Of course, they're the ones who host us right here on Roku and Fire TV if you're watching us there. Mm-hmm. And make sure you stay tuned. We're still working out a lot of bugs, a lot of kinks. I need some technical stuff I want to do. But by the TheHHPod Rumble, which will be this June, we want to be streaming live on Roku and Fire TV. So that's going to be exclusive to that. So we just have a lot to work out with that. So look out for that in 2024. So what I'm going to do is real quick, I'm going to get right into our new featured beer. So our new featured beer is by it's Omission Brewing Company Pale Ale. So Omission Pale Ale.
All right.
Doesn't have any like cool description on the bottle, which is always kind of a fail right offhand, but I like it. Pale ale is always easy to go with. It is gluten reduced, so that means it keeps you a little bit slimmer down. If you have a gluten problem, you can grab some of this beer and don't have to worry about the gluten. So make sure, shout out to Omission. We'll be promoting this and shouting out to these guys. I do that. Hell, Omission, if you're out there, you see this, just send us free shit. That's all we ask for. We don't need we don't need your money or anything like that. You want to give us money, that's fine, but
free beer,
whatever, I'm fine with that. And of course, Jeff, your favorite part also is, of course, we got to get into our featured shot, which is Bacardi Gold. So Bacardi Gold, I've kind of learned my lesson a little bit with the Bacardi Gold. So what I'm going to do tonight is I am going to mix the Bacardi Gold, because taking it as a straight shot just ain't working anymore. Bacardi Gold, make sure you get it mixes well with other things. You take it pure like I do, you're asking for an ass whooping. So I'm going to add some Mountain Dew to that. And I'm going to sip on that throughout the show as well. So cheers, guys. And Jeff, do you have anything you're drinking? You got just the regular Yingling.
Yingling Lager, the pride of PA.
Nice.
Of course. And want you guys know, want the audience know, hello, everybody out there, that tonight I am in charge of curing your sexual appetite. Since we don't have a guest, I'll be the sexy member of the panel tonight. I'll take that. I'll take that leap. Yeah.
It's like, I will take that leap. Just like, don't worry about it. I will take it, and I will be it. I will be showing you my penis before the show is over with. But no, actually, I don't know if anybody's ever tried it before, but that's the first time I've ever done rum and Mountain Dew.
Wow.
Solid. Like, it has like that Mountain Dew sweetness to it, but it's like a little bit filtered down. It is actually really good and really dangerous. So, pick up, as I said, pick up some more Bacardi Gold, mix it with some Mountain Dew, and black out and get yourself arrested. So,
if I can, real quick, while we have sexual world records here tonight, we have a sexual world record for the least sexiest sexy person in the history of the Happy Hour podcast.
A first ever.
Yeah, we may actually have the least sexiest panel ever.
There you go. That's gonna make
history. Because normally we at least have like our guest, which kind of filters out, our, not so boyish good looks or whatever and all that stuff. And, we don't have that this week. So it's just like, okay, whatever. But no, we're here. We're going to have a good time. Of course, we're going to get into all kinds of stuff. This is why I like doing this show. Of course, we're coming live, but, I had a whole plan, whole agenda, and all that got swept away, with the guests not coming. But we're still going to get into some stuff anyway. So, of course, New Year's just happened. So, of course, everybody goes New Year, new us. This is New Year, same show. You're going to get the same shit. You get each and every week, us having a fiasco. Did you guys do anything in particular for New Year's?
I just took some time off, spent with the family. I had family in town. That's all I did for 2 weeks. So just well needed too. Good rest, but I love seeing the families. They're all over the country, so it was nice.
Nice. What about you, Jeff?
I'm going to call out my wife and say she was in bed at 8:00. And I sat and watched football, won my fantasy football championship, got inebriated by myself, lasted to the ball drop, though, and I made it. So welcome to 2024.
Nice. Well, me and my wife, like, we like, the older we get, the less and less we like people. So that's, I know you would never believe that with me doing a show like this,
right?
But, this is more so digital interacting with people. But like, it's the whole thing of, we were kind of tired. I was playing Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5 most of the night. And then like we cut the cord on cable like years ago. So when we get stuff like the ball dropping, it's hard to find shit like that. So we found the default, I think it was like New York ball drop stream. And it was one of the worst fucking productions I have ever seen in my life. Like, people see me kind of do the poor man's way of producing this show with videos, and I do a better job on this than what they did with that. Like, literally, you had like commentators standing there, and like they acted like that they never engaged with another human before. I swear that they had a planned wedding, like they did like a shoot wedding or whatever, like where like the people weren't, because the people were just kind of like looking at each other like they didn't know each other, but they were also proposing it. And like after the ball dropped, it went to like the one announcer guy, and he literally stood there like this.
He's pooping himself
for like 30 seconds. And my wife's like, is he going to talk? And I looked at her, I was like, this is the worst fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. And then we were up till like probably about 12:30, and then we went to bed. And that was it. I think the highlight of my day was Target Christmas stock went to 90% off, and I went and cleaned house with that. On the other side of my camera is a bunch of Target bags filled up with shit. I'm going to list on eBay so it can sell throughout the year and sell next year for Christmas for regular price, because that's one of the many hats that I wear is reselling along with doing the podcast and my regular job and all
Same here. Same
fun
here.
stuff.
I do that as well. Like I think I told you earlier, it's how my Funko Pop collection got started, through pandemic, people panicking and selling big pieces for cheap, and I started accumulating them, selling them off, buying, selling, and building this childish empire.
How many you have there, Jeff?
Behind me is only about 200. I got about 400 total.
Wow, holy shit!
And my wife hates each and every one of them. I'm a child.
That's the thing. They recently start not manufacturing certain ones anymore. Like they cut like, what was it, like $10 million worth of their stock out.
They slowed down. Yeah,
many. Like there's literally a Funko Pop of everything imaginable. Like whoever started that first one literally built an empire, because those things blew up like Beanie Babies did, and they haven't lost steam quite yet. And it's amazing how those blew up. But did you guys hear this week, and it's been everywhere, did you guys hear about the dude who attacked the judge in Vegas? Yeah, so for anybody watching at home that hasn't seen that, I'm going to pull that video up real quick. So anybody that hasn't seen that video, we're going to watch this, and we're going to get reactions on this and all that fun stuff. But this is basically what it was. The guy was going for what was it, parole, I think it was, and she denied his parole.
Yep.
And this is what happened when she denied his parole. So this dude pretty much Superfly Jimmy Snookered.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, I don't know how many wrestling fans are out there, but he dove over that the way the Undertaker dove over the top rope on top of Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24.
Like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, like that dude literally got some good air. Like I could never do a crossbody that clean in my wrestling career in my best shape. But for like that dude literally just crossbody blocked the shit. And like at that point, like you're gonna get more time added on. Like that, you're not gonna sit there and crossbody the judge and just start giving her like piston-like right hands, and then she's gonna change her mind on your parole. I don't think that's gonna happen. Like,
probably not. It was a hell of a leap down. I got to watch it twice. Guys, I keep the big screen up just to kind of keep
They pummel the shit out of him. He's holding on and won't let go. That video continues. They just beat the snot out of him.
That would have been great if someone would have just came up from behind and just chair shotted him from behind, just gunshot at him with a fucking chair, and just be like, all right, you want to do Superfly Jimmy Snuka? Then this is the way this shit is going to work. So
I've got a buddy who would send me videos like that, and he'll start off the message by saying, "Get this guy on your show," and then he'll send me something like that. I don't want that guy on my show. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And the only way I want him on the show is if he's actively cross-bodying other inmates as we're doing it. like we say something to him or we show him a video, and then the next thing you know, he's just giving a crossbody to like 4 other inmates off the second level while they're eating lunch. Like that's exactly what I want to see, is something like that. Do you guys recall any other videos like that? Like I know there's the one floating out there where there's a guy and this dude like molested his kid, and like the dude just comes out of the shadow and shoots the dude in the fucking head.
Yeah, that was like in the early 80s.
Yeah.
He's acting like he's on the phone and he just turned, he's like, dead.
And it's like, well, I mean, that's kind of justice.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, there was a case where they didn't convict the guy for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that guy, but there was another one out there just
Really?
like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you got to look at stuff like that where like you go through like a lot of emotional trauma and stuff like that, but attacking the judge just isn't going to get it done. I don't think I recall anything else. Like I've seen
I've
many
never seen
videos
nothing like that.
where you have young kids laughing in a courtroom after they've murdered somebody, and then they get like a 100-year sentence, and then their face changes and they start crying or whatever and all that. And you're just kind of like, I mean, bro, you were just laughing about this. Like,
Right.
a second ago. Like now you're like, I mean, that's the thing. And I've said this before on the show, you know what, when we did Happy Hour TV, we were able to go down Philly, your neck of the woods, Jeff. You probably know exactly where this is, Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
You know, shout out to them. We got to do the tour. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, that was one of those jails that if you went there, you came out a changed person, because you went there and the conditions were so bad, you know, things were so bad that you literally did not ever want to go there ever again. That's the way it was with Alcatraz. That's the way it was with countless prisons. What is that? Guantanamo Bay. It's still like that to this day there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Prison has gotten so easy that everybody's just like, oh yeah, whatever, I'll go there. It's like, no, you go there and the conditions are so bad. Like, you take a piss and then you end up with something in your dick because it swam up there because of how bad the situations are or something. Yeah, you're never going to want to go there again. You're going to learn your lesson.
You would think.
Yeah.
Not swan diving any judges knowing where I'm headed.
Yeah, you are not Jeff Hardying a judge. Like, that's just not the way it's going to work. So of course we're here live on YouTube live, and Jason Rushman, he said, Jeff, I love your show. It's incredible, and he loves Jewel. She's amazing. I don't know when it's going to come up to the time, but eventually at some point on your show, Jason will probably ask Jewel about peeing. That will probably happen because Jason loves pee.
He does. He's a pee hawk. What's up,
Yes,
brother?
he loves and Walter Novak says, can you invite Jennifer White? Walter, actually, I have sent out a feeler to Jennifer White. We haven't heard back yet, so I'm always trying to get people onto the show that haven't been on the show before. Of course,
I would love to put out a feeler for Jennifer White.
Actually, Jennifer White, I think we recorded some content with Jennifer White at Exotica. So make sure our professional acrobat Rob Lee that we ran into,
he
did one of the lifts with Jennifer White. So find that on Roku TV via Pod Nation. That's a Pod Nation exclusive. It is only there. Of course, Eric Clark, he's here in the stream. He said, what's up, Jeff? And he said Discord. So Eric, I don't know what you mean by Discord. So I don't mess with Discord. I know what Discord is, but give me a little bit of an explanation of what Discord means. Should we do this on Discord? Should we add this to Discord? Does Discord mean something else? Because I'm not really too sure
Right.
what the Discord thing. So, but I'll check back in with that later. And like one of the things that I do want to get into is, did you guys hear? I'm going to get into one of our drunken news articles, and you let me know if you guys heard about this. This one says, an Indiana man is found with a handgun hidden in his rectum after being taken into custody. So it said in Evansville, Indiana, an Indiana ex-convict, as we go, like, you don't learn your lesson in prison.
Right. I mean, Jesus Christ.
What kind of gun are we talking here? Is it like a little 38? What, has a Glock? How big is this gun?
Right.
It says an Indiana ex-convict who was prohibited from carrying a firearm had a handgun hidden in his rectum when he was booked into jail and underwent a body scan and strip. Wait, he was booked into jail and he had a handgun hidden. So are you going back to jail with the intent of shooting the inmate you didn't like the last time you were in prison? Okay. See, because that's the thing. I read these titles and I don't read these until we're live, because I like to find out, just like the rest of you guys, what is going to happen with the story. So it says Christopher Boyd, 32, was a passenger riding in a vehicle that police pulled over in the city of Evansville on Monday at about 2 a.m. for an obscured license plate. Oh, that's smart if you have a gun in your ass. The driver and second passenger were released without charges, but they were searched by police. it says, but when officers patted down Boyd, they discovered a small bag with multiple pills in his right sock. According to the police report obtained by the smoking gun,
They
Boyd
found that before the gun.
pills were Percocet, and he received them from his Aunt Trish to help him with the pain that he had from a bullet being lodged in his spine. Okay.
Probably from shoving guns up your ass, bro.
A bullet being lodged in your spine kind of makes perfect sense right now. It says Boyd also said during the search that he could not spread his legs because of his spinal injury.
Right.
Right.
In Boyd's groin area, Boyd tensed up, police said in a report. Well, I mean, to be honest, if I have someone searching me, unless it's like a really hot nurse or whatever and all that, I'm probably going to tense up if you're searching my groin area as well, especially if it's an unexpected groin search. And it says the suspect was asked if he had anything in his groin or buttocks, which he reported that Boyd said he did not. After Boyd was transported to the county jail, he was observed walking with a limp and appeared to be clenching his butt while walking. According to the report, Boyd was subsequently put through a body scanner and a large object was detected in his groin region. A strip search revealed 2 plastic bags containing marijuana tucked next to Boyd's scrotum. How they missed that, I don't know. Didn't they do a groin search? And recreational marijuana remains is illegal in Indiana, which it probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal here in Maryland because marijuana is legal here now. It says Boyd then tensed up and refused to comply and lowered to the ground, and the report said. The officer lowered Boyd's pants to remove the item that was in his rectum. But the suspect continued to clench his buttocks. So it's like, I'm hoping that like it's the kind of thing that he's continuing to collect. So they're like, all right, bring in the tools. And they bring in like 2 screwdrivers and shove them in his ass. And just because it's like, if you're going to keep tensing up, they just come in with like a fucking Craftsman bag of tools and they just lay them on the counter. Like you ever see those movies where like a sick serial killer is like just choosing weapons. They just pick up the hammer and they're like, no. They put it down, pick up a scalpel, and they're like, nah, this will be too easy. Put that down.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering when you think about the bullet in his spine. I mean, gun and shoved up his rectum. If the guy farts, I'm sure it triggers off a bullet that's going to be.
Could you imagine like farting fucking bullets? Like that's how he like instead of like shooting someone, he just gets on to all fours and he farts.
There you go, yeah.
Blows somebody's head clean off. Like, oh Jesus!
Or he farts it and the bullet goes out like the head of his dick, like straight ahead.
So it says that it is unclear whether the handgun was loaded. Police confirmed, and police confirmed that the firearm was not stolen. The gun hidden in Boyd's rectum was a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, a .380 caliber pistol that weighs about 12 ounces. So okay, so let's see. I'm not a gun guy, so let's see. A .380 Smith & Wesson. So let's see, .380 Smith & Wesson. So this right here, what I'm about to pull up. So let me just go ahead and hit this. So this is what it's saying is a .380 Smith & Wesson. So imagine that in your ass. Like you're walking around with this gun shoved up your ass. Like, and that's one of those like small tip guns too. So like, yeah, like, so like, I wonder if it's one of those things where when that's in your ass, if you go to shit, if like you just like, if you kind of shit around that, like I've heard stories of like people who had things stuck in their asses for like a very long time. And I'm like, well, how did they shit? And it's kind of like the shit just kind of like goes around it. I guess you have diarrhea shit the entire time. And like, I don't know. It's weird. And so let's see. So is there anything else? It says 12 ounces. The gun has a micro frame size. Okay, so I guess that really matters. And is lightweight and simple to use. So lightweight and simple to use means that you can shove it in your ass. So
easily shoved up your ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's perfectly suited for concealed carry. So I'm guessing that he got a concealed carry license and he's like, you know what? I'm not buying a sidearm piece, belt or whatever and all that. I'm putting
conceal it for real.
Like,
I'm dying to see the moment when he draws that gun. Like, how? Hope he's got a rubber glove handy.
He shoves his hand all the way up his ass. Like, he's like, oh, you want to fuck with me? And he just literally like puts his hand like all the way up his ass, like almost to here, and like just pulls the gun. Like, at that point, like, you do that trick and pull the gun, like instantly it's over. Like that. That's like, yeah. Like, I'm losing that duel. Like,
I'm begging him to shoot me after seeing that.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, is it like one of those kinds of things? Like, you ever see Home Alone when he got like all like the gunk in the gun and all that stuff, and the gun went in fire? Yeah. I wonder if like his like ass fluids, like shit, and like whatever else, like just got in like the barrel of that gun, and then like it wouldn't fire because it all caked up in there and like hard snot into like the like butt. To like the chamber of that gun. So, and real quick, this is the photo of the man in question. So that's him right there. And I'm hoping that they took this photo while the gun was still hidden in his ass, because that would be great. Like, I mean, you know, but yeah, like, so would there ever be a time in you guys' life where you would be like, you know what? I'm going to hide something in my ass. Like, are you guys... Rob even thinks
nothing's worth it. No.
So here's a sexual world record for you, Rob. I know you wanted to get like kind of more into oddball stuff. Why don't you track down somebody that, like, of course, we have the handgun in the anus or whatever. You find somebody that has stuck the most obscure item in their ass that had to be.
I've seen some already. Plenty of world records out there
for sexual world record.
Some
and
crazy
like,
stuff,
even if it's this guy and he's in prison, you just send him like the certificate. Okay, you're now
you're
a
in,
sexual
automatic
world record holder.
Yep. Do not have to repeat it. You're in.
yeah, you don't have to repeat it. You don't have to show me.
You're good.
I believe you. So, hey, you know what? Maybe that's something we can do associated with our show, like sexual world record for the craziest like sex organ injury or something like that, because we've had a lot of crazy ones on this show. We've had people who had, like, there was a guy, I'm not sure if I mentioned it last time you were on. I think Jeff heard me talk about this. There was a guy who pretty much fixaflatted his dick. Like, he took, like, you ever see that spray foam you use? Like, he sprayed that in his dick to try to fix erectile dysfunction. Like that's something that just needs to be a category in sexual world record.
Sexual world record failures.
Like, it's in the losers section,
right?
Very last page. Like, you have the fine print of the book, and then like the very last page.
I love it.
Yeah, you got to put that on the first page so everybody comes across it.
If you make it past that, then you get to
you're in. Yeah, get past this first page.
You deserve all the boobs and ass you wish to see if you get past page 1.
Speaking of which, Rob, what all? So, of course, you said, you mentioned the magazine. So, what all, like, I guess for sexual world records, do you guys have any new entries that you've had lately? Like, what all have you guys had recently for sexual?
I mean, there's so many. I mean, the obvious ones are always out there with the gangbang and the biggest dicks and everything. But as you're talking about insertions, there's a gal. Matter of fact, she's on Twitter and she's in the magazine for the largest insertion. I can't remember. I mean, we get so many of these, but hers is
she shoved like a midget inside herself or something.
I mean, it's like 8 feet, 8 feet long. The girth on it is probably like this.
So how tall is she?
Jesus Christ, it's gonna be 9 foot, right?
Yeah.
No, she's not. I mean, just all I don't know how.
Where does it go? Like, does it go into like a vortex?
You could see her stomach and everything just move as it's going. It's just it's unbelievable.
Oh my god!
And that's all she does all day.
For you guys, right? She had to redo this for you guys.
No, she never did. One of her fans reached out to us, and somebody touched base with me, so I reached out to her. I actually had a talk with her on WhatsApp, and she's in Germany. But it was
that
crazy.
Checks out. That makes sense.
And one of the most craziest things I've ever seen. But she's in the industry and it's a great world record.
Yeah. For basketball fans, she shoved Manute Bol up her ass.
Yeah.
Like 7'7".
Yeah.
basketball player up her ass.
Unbelievable. But yeah, you can tell it just wraps up in there. You can see the whole stomach and your side.
Well, it's funny because when we had the episode with Leilani Lee, were you here for that, Jeff? Like,
yes, I was. Yes.
We did an article where a woman tried to steal a fake tree from Walmart, and it was a 9-foot tree. And she made it about like 2 feet deep, and then like she passed out in the bathroom. And I was like, "How does this work? Like, it's a Christmas tree. She's like 5'6", and this tree's like 9 foot. Where's it gonna go?" And then especially like if the tree defluffs itself, and, like, spreads out like inside there. Like, I mean,
impaled.
But did this now kind of make sense because you're telling me that she did that? Like, are you positive that she is not one of the old Third Reich's like experiments that like they did back like during World War, where like they're like, we got something now, we are going to make this woman with the impregnable pussy, like she
is a content creator. She is what she does. This is what she is known for.
Wow. Like it's kind of like it's like a Trojan horse thing.
Yeah.
Like you sneak an actual soldier up this girl's ass. She comes walking in and boom, this giant 7-foot soldier comes popping out.
Like it's the kind of thing where like they shoot her out of a cannon of a plane. She just has her put, and she's like, "You go into that now," and the plane flies into her, and it disappears. You just see a quick little, like the explosion, and it's gone. This solves the Bermuda Triangle. This woman is the Bermuda Triangle. Boats and planes are going missing inside of this woman, and this is how this is happening.
I've had a lot of pain tonight so far.
Yeah. So of course you got that. So with the magazine, I guess, is the magazine going to be like a monthly thing, like a monthly?
No, it just comes out every year.
Okay.
This year it's gonna be digital, or it's gonna be given away free online. You can download it. We're just gonna put it up on like all the social media platforms and the website. We have the podcast that we do. We launched that like 3 months ago, and then our website will be the magazine and the website are supposed to be done at the same time here, according to development. So, 2 weeks, 2 weeks out.
Okay. You get a free T-shirt with every insertion video you send.
But the T-shirt comes out of her, like,
right? Extra large.
Like 100 T-shirts inside of there at any given.
Like the magician with the scarves.
It's all her gimmicks.
Yeah, they keep pulling it out.
Yeah, 8x10s, her markers, like everything like that. Her entire like video collection, like of her sex stuff and just her personal collection. She just keeps inside of there, and just she doesn't need a purse. Like she's got like, you know, the best purse that you could possibly have. But like, oh, Rob's gone. Rob had enough. He's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's
Rob's like, and with that, I'm out.
It's pretty cool because I'm going to try and watch the minute it happens here. Yeah. And just see how good an exit it is. Because it just like
literally, it was just gone.
It could be just like, oh, fuck this. And
she's in his house. She's in his house.
Yes.
And when we started talking about it, she vacuumed him into her pussy. Like literally, like Rob now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Boys, but The Boys season 2, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's a spoiler, you know, that's on you because it's been out for a while, but there's a character that shrinks down and crawls inside of the head of a man's penis. It was kind of like that. Like Rob is now walking around touching the inner walls of a pussy right now because he is literally inside of a 9-foot tall German woman that can take like he's just sitting there, like he goes in there and it looks like an abandoned building. Like it's just there's a rundown car in there, and there's a couple of street lamps that are out of commission.
I would picture there be like stalactites and stalagmites. That's what I'm thinking.
he just lights a lighter inside of there, and he's like, "Hello, hello,
Ray,
anybody here? Ray, Jeff, where are you guys?"
And I tell you, it's funny when you watch the moment, when you watch the replay, how he goes, he's smiling, and also he's just
like, he's gone, just balmoose right into the air. So he may have lost his internet connection.
I'm holding on to things.
That happens sometimes. But just in case we upset German lady and she's coming for us, Jeff, if you just all of a sudden smile and then you vanish, I know that I'm next. Like that's the whole thing. Like, I know that it's going to be one of those things where you're holding on to something and your legs are flapping in the air because you're about to be sucked into a vortex. Like that's the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into another one of our, so right here, it says, Jason said, Jeff, what are you drinking tonight? He is drinking Yingling, the original Yingling. And Eric Clark said, do you guys have a Discord server so I can join it? No. Just like Reddit and Twitch and all that stuff, I am too stupid to operate something like that. Like Discord confuses me. It makes me very, very annoyed very quickly. But Eric, if you want to start a Discord server for us, you can feel free and reach out to me and I'll send you all of our stuff and you can more than willing start a Discord server for us and we will let you run it. You will be the official Discord runner for Happy Hour Podcast. That's me being 100% honest. Just get a hold of us via email or on our social media pages. And I would love to have a Discord server. I just don't, with everything else I have going on, I don't have time, patience to deal with something like that right now. And let's see. So Jason said he hopes the rapture didn't happen. Like,
it was really so sudden.
Yeah, like it was literally like I wonder if like somewhere in the universe the Avengers are fighting Thanos right now, and Thanos just did the snap, and Rob just dusted. Like that's like
I would have been gone
Rob
a long
was
time ago.
Wiped completely out of existence, just right there, 100%. So so let's say here's the next one. It says, doctors say a New Mexican woman stabbed a man in the eye with a candy cane. This is an article we meant to get to during Christmas. However, unfortunately, I've never been able to get to it. So we're going to get to it now. So this happened in Carlsbad, New Mexico, where Carl is always bad in New Mexico. So it says a New Mexico. I wonder if that's why they named it Carlsbad, because there was a bad man named Carl in New Mexico, and they were like,
Carl, or wouldn't it be Carlos?
I don't know. Carlos bad.
Carlos bad. Yeah, they shrunk it to make it
bad man. So it says a New Mexico woman is facing charges after police say she stabbed a wheelchair-bound man in the eye with a plastic candy cane.
What?
Like, you notice my like she totally just stabbed a fucking man in the wheelchair in the eye with a candy cane.
Poor guy's like just shit out of luck. I mean,
yeah, like I forgot his name. What the hell is that fucking really smart handicap guy?
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, the one who literally ended up on Epstein's list for sexually assaulting people. I'm like,
this is bizarre. How?
Like, how did this happen? But no, she like stabbed like Stephen Hawking in his eye with a plastic candy cane. So it says the Carlsbad Current Argus reported that the 51-year-old Norma Moreno was arrested Friday and charged with causing great bodily harm to the victim's eye. According to police, the bizarre attack occurred in January when Moreno got into an argument with 46-year-old Joe Jaquez. A police report says that Moreno hit Jaquez 4 times and then stabbed him in the left eye. Like that's like I would say it's like a 1-2 combo, but it's not. It was like yeah, like just like right into like the eye. So like and when I saw Candy Cane, like I thought like it was the kind of thing where like maybe this dude was like giving her shit and the whole time she's just slowly just sucking on this candy cane.
Yeah, maybe a dagger kind of thing.
Yeah, she like just sucks into like a dagger, or like she just starts blowing it like a dick, and it's like a 3-second thing. She's like, "Oh, you don't think I can blow a dick good?" And she's like, "Look, now I have, yeah," like like something like that. Like I thought it was gonna be like an angry prostitute that didn't get paid by that guy that just drove this, but no, it's plastic candy cane. I'm trying to think like what style plastic candy cane, because like I don't see like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't see a lot of like plastic candy canes. So let's see, plastic, and it might just be me being stupid, but I see everything else, but I don't see a lot of plastic candy canes. Plastic candy canes. So we're gonna look at these and imagine which one would suck the most being driven into your eyeball. So
I can't think any one would be good.
Like I mean, that's the thing. It's like these are like so okay. So these just look like the regular run of the mill like candy canes or whatever.
Oh, perfect for the eyeball.
Yeah. So I mean, how hard do you have to stab somebody in the eye in order for, like, imagine if it was one of these, like the two, like I just bought a shit ton of these, like for like 60 cents a piece from like fucking the store or whatever.
Yeah, they crash and
imagine like she managed to do it with one of those.
What if it's one of those ones you put on the lawn, like the giant one, you know?
Oh,
fine. Maybe it's that.
It's like the size of like a fucking tube.
Maybe it's that thing. Oh my God.
She pulls it out of that German woman and just stabs this man right in the eye with it. Like,
I bought this, please. Boom! Right into Carlsbad's eye there.
It's in the German woman for so long that it just like grinds it down to like a needle point, and she just drives it into this man's skull.
My
So
God.
let's see. It says authorities said Jaquez later had eye surgery at the University Medical Center in Lubbock, where the doctor determined that he suffered from retinal detachment, partial lens luxation, and lid laceration.
That sounds sexual.
Yeah. It is unclear if Moreno had an attorney. So she's probably, I hope that she found one. And I would love to hear the reason why she chose the said candy cane and why it was there in, everything going on. So Jeff, of course, we were talking a little bit before we started. So you got something going on, if you don't mind me talking about it, because our show, we don't have a guest, so we're going to go wherever. Like we go all over the place normally. We're going to go even more all over the place tonight. So you were talking a little bit about, you have something coming up with like some band series that you're doing. What all is going on with that?
Yeah, greatly appreciated, Ray. It's called the Key Concert Series, short for the Keystone State.
Okay.
Key Concert Series is going to take place once a month at the Fuge in Warminster, Pennsylvania, which is an awesome venue that has ballrooms, etc. The room's going to hold 250 people. We're going to sell tickets and have 4 bands each night. Local bands from PA, up-and-coming bands, headliners. We already have 3 offers from bands outside of the country, like from Nashville, and it's not country, but outside of the state. Nashville, Illinois, that want to come out and perform at this thing. So tickets will be on sale. I'll share it on the Yo Show. I'll share it on my page. It's called the Key Concert Series. It starts February 17th is the first show. It's like $20 to get in to see like 4 bands. And it's all dedicated to music, Ray. It's not like walking to a bar. There's going to be a game on and waitresses and everybody clamoring.
It's straight bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, it's all about the band and the tune. So I appreciate you giving me that shout out. I'm going to share it later tonight.
Yeah. Send it over to us. I'll share it around. Yeah, you know how that works. Like I'm always trying to help out and all that stuff. And speaking of which, I want to try to get in somewhere. We haven't done anything since Exotica, but it's just been hard lately trying to book something with Fully Fermented, the local access stuff. The local access stuff, like the local features, they're a little bit harder to book. Not only because we got to haul all of our equipment out there, we got to record out there, we got to figure out a date, but also a lot of times once local places see our content, they're just kind of like, no.
Yeah.
No. We're not doing that. I'm just kind of like,
He's probably going to bring some girl with something shoved up her ass.
Yes. They're going to bring a German woman.
We're going to
inside this German woman.
We're going to lose a case of beer as he slowly inserts bottle after bottle of someone's ass.
Real quick, I'm going to check my messages and see. So he said he's rebooting his system. So that's what it is. He's rebooting his system. So
that's what the kids call it these days.
An error on his side. Of course, in case you guys haven't done it, make sure you click the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. If you're not following us on Instagram and Twitter, make sure you go over and follow us. If you can't find us, the handle for Twitter, very easy, at TheHHPod. Twitter is at TheHH_pod. Go over to our official website. You can find everything there. Every single episode we have ever done, of course, this is episode 203, are hosted right there on our website. So you can pick and choose if you don't want to watch a certain one, or if you want to binge watch all of them and, pull out, some peanut butter, put it all over your balls and let your dogs go to town while you watch them.
How the fuck did you know how I watched the show, bro? It's crazy. It's like you're watching through the screen.
Yes. It's like we know everything. I mean, we know our fan base. Like, that's the thing. Like, we know our fan base. That's the whole
little touch in the head.
Yeah. And Jason Rushman said, you know what I like about the Happy Hour podcast, right? If someone cancels or doesn't want to be on the show, you keep going. And that's what I love about the Happy Hour podcast. Well, that's the thing, Jason. We've said this 100,000 times. We do a live show, and I learned from pro wrestling is that card is subject to change, and you go live no matter what. No matter what happens, your ass is out there. You're performing live, whether or not. Let's say I was supposed to go out and I was supposed to wrestle Nui Tofia one night. Nui can't make it. Okay, now I'm going out and I'm wrestling Ryan McBride. Card changes. You need to figure it out. Either way, it happens. So, it's kind of crazy the way a lot of stuff's mapping out for the show. Of course, Scissor Fists, they're going to be the next 6 months here for the show. Of course, the HHPod Rumble that's coming up. Shout out to Jupiter Jetson. She is going to be at the AVNs, and she's going to be taking the championship belt around. I know Natasha Nice, Reagan Fox, a handful of them. They want to get photos taken with the belt. So if you guys ever want to get one of our belts that we send out to our HHPod champion winners, reach out to me, and I will get you in contact with the guy who makes the belts. And you can order your very own belt and have one. Also, go over, buy some of our merchandise. Like, you guys, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Buy our merchandise. You send it to us. I will make sure I share it on social media and all that stuff, just like we do with a lot of our guests. Of course, shout out to Taylor Love. Taylor Love, we send out merch to all of our guests. She posted a very, very risque, very, very, awesome photo.
You can say delicious. Go ahead.
So, yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, photos like that and all that, we're also going to use for social media purposes as well. That's why we do it. It's a marketing thing. Like, you got to be smart with stuff like that. So,
and I got to tell you what, now I'm going out balls ass crazy to win the Rumble this year. And Natasha Nice and Reagan Fox can take a picture with me in my belt.
Oh,
just my belt.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, they would either have to be at Exotica, which unfortunately neither one of them were at Exotica this year, or you would have to go out to the AVNs and do that. And of course, shout out to Brent. Brent, that dude, we met him over at Exotica. Brent, he took all those amazing photos and a lot of amazing video that you'll see right here on Fire TV. So I'm waiting for Rob to come back through, because there's something that my wife showed me, and it was from an episode of Cops that I absolutely lost my mind on, that I want to show and talk about. And Jeff's laughing because he may have already looked this up, or he may know what I'm talking about.
No, I know, but when you just said, you're hoping the guy that comes back from Sexual World Records, you say, I want to show him this thing my wife showed me. And I'm like, wow. Wow, Ray. Wow.
Yeah. It's like, he needs to see it. He needs to visualize it.
Even I can't believe.
So that's the thing. Like, when he comes out of this German woman's vagina, like, that's the thing. Like,
but she's had enough.
Like I wanted to be like the kind of thing where, like, he comes back and we bring him back in the room, and all you see is just this like little innocent vagina, just kind of chilling. It's just this like vagina. And then the next thing, it's kind of like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective 2.
When he comes in.
Like kind of that. And then you see like an arm or whatever and all that, and then like he pulls himself out of this thing. Like, that will be completely gangster and completely balls to the walls. So what we're going to do is, until he comes back, we're going to get into 800 terms for the penis. So Jeff, you've been here for this before, so we're going to get in to some of these real quick. So where did we leave off last time? So I'm going
to write these down because Joe enjoys these too.
Heat-seeking moisture missile was the last one that we did in the last episode. So
I can feel that one on my tongue.
Here's the next one. Oh no, we did helmet too, because someone said that it looks like
a helmet. Yeah, it's pretty generic.
Yeah, so we did helmet. And so the next one after that is Herbie. Herbie. Would you like to see Herbie? I'm going to pull Herbie out of my pants and show him to you.
That's one of the, call it Eugene or something.
Yeah, I think I would. I don't even think I would name a dog Herbie. Like Herbie.
Unless they're going for like Herbie the Love Bug. since it's like that round shape, like a beetle, like the head.
That might be it.
I'm trying.
So we go from Herbie to Hercules.
Oh, all right.
So the mighty, mighty Hercules. So just imagine that, like the mighty, mighty Hercules after that. And then the one after that is High Hard One, a High Hard One. So
that's been around. I've heard of that.
Okay. That's actually the first time I've seen High Hard One. And then,
really? I've heard of that one.
The next one after that is Hoo Ha, which I've heard that for a pussy, but I've never heard Hoo Ha for a tallywhacker.
Yes. My wife has said hoo ha before.
Okay.
And I don't want to think that I'm pulling out the same thing she is. So now I'm fucked up.
And then after that is hoo hoo. Like hoo hoo. Who wants to see my hoo hoo? Or it'd be great if someone called it the yoo hoo. Like who wants my yoo hoo? Like, and then of course there's Hook. So Hook, which I can see Hook, because you ever see like any of those guys that have like the bent dick? Like that's kind of like
no.
Like, so like I can see Hook being as one, or like, you put like Captain Hook's like hook on the end of it, and they're like you should call it Hook.
You want to hear something terrible?
What's that?
So a hooked penis or a crooked penis is known as Peyronie's disease, and my last name is Perini. I don't have to tell you the ribbings and the jokes that go on from my friends. So Peyronie disease. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro.
There's also a beer that I hate, an Italian beer called Peroni.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Like
it's crooked dick beer.
So crooked dick beer. So, and then after that is Jose. Like Jose, like it's weird because it says Jose and then hose, but it's capital HOSE and then hose like a garden hose. So I was like, I'm guessing the one is Jose, but I always thought Jose in Spanish was JOSE. It was Jose, like that.
That's
like,
what I thought.
Maybe I'm wrong. Like, but Jose, I guess, is I'm guessing that's their Mexican penis. Like, I don't know. Like imagine if like you were born and like you were just like, I want.
Carlsbad has a Jose.
Yeah, I'm not Spanish, but my penis is. Like, I'm not sure if that's a good thing to say, because, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, what if you meet somebody that like just doesn't like Spanish people, and then you're like, oh no, wait, I need you to meet Jose, and they're just like, wait, what?
I'm gonna kick you into Jose.
Who? And then they pull out their dick and they start screaming. They're like, oh my god, get it out of here, get it out! Like, I don't know, just something weird like that, like weird things that pop up in my head. So, but don't be racist, and don't be racist against a penis named Jose.
Right.
Like, that's just like, that's just not cool at all. So
penis needs love too.
Yes, penises need love too. So that is our 800 terms for a penis. So I don't know where Rob is or if Rob will be back, but what we're going to do is we're about an hour through. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We're going to play some ads from some of our friends and all that stuff. And actually, speaking of which, I just now realized that I never edited together the ads for tonight. So we actually do not have any ads for tonight. And I was sitting there because I was messing around with the stuff for Roku and Fire TV, and I was like, I know I forgot to do something. And then I quickly realized, I was like, that's what I forgot to do.
All right, let me give it a shot, because I always try to do this Rob Van Dam part. Shout out to Derek. Curtain Jerker Designs. Yo, dude, this poster off the hook.
Yeah. So, of course, our comments are regular. Shout out to Derek from Curtain Jerker Designs. He does all of our amazing graphics. Awesome. He's working on one right now, because obviously we can't have a graphic with Alyssia Vera on it when she's not here. So he's doing one that's putting all of our faces onto it, and that will be the graphic for this. So, so I guess I'm definitely going to have to hold my piss tonight, because
hello, wrestling. I can do the ads. Hello,
wrestling promoters. This is the Big Valboski.
The Big Valboski wants to give you a big tip. I love the commercials, dude. When they're rolling, I'm reciting it. I freaking love it.
And with that, if you want to promote with us or Pod Nation TV, make sure you reach out. We're very, very friendly with our prices, or a lot of times we're just like, hey, just send us shit. Like, that's the whole thing. Shout out to Team Skeet. They send us trailers, but it's the thing. We love those guys and all that stuff, but they haven't been sending us a lot of trailers and all that. And it's like, we get stuff here and there sporadically and all that stuff. And it's like, eventually after a while, we're just gonna have to start filtering other, paid things in the places of that. So I'm going to reach out to Team Skeet, because what we're going to do this year is we're going to do a very unique thing with the HHPod Championship, where we're going to sell plate spaces on that belt. Of course, Pod Nation, shout out to Pod Nation. They're already funding one of the plates where the plate will have this logo, and I'll say Pod Nation TV, all that stuff on one of the side plates of the belt. So whoever wins the HHPod, your logo, your brand will be on the HHPod Championship. So, which Jeff is already like, I'm going to win. But of course, Jeff, I know Jerry from Share a Pint, him and countless others, and I'm sure Jupiter Jetson, who was a hard defeat last year, will be willing to defend her title. And also Allison Ray, you can't forget, they went down to the wire. I think what I'm going to do this year is, because there was a lot of lag with it, is I'm going to pull up the card, ask them if they can see the card. Once they say yes, then the timer starts.
Yeah, okay.
Then that way it's not the timer starts and then the card is delayed by like 3 seconds and they lose out on 3 seconds or something like that. And we're also going to go through, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody and then only mute the people who are doing the card, because people don't understand the common rule of don't answer for fucking somebody else, because that's the thing. And even if the mute thing doesn't, as a failsafe, if you answer the card and it's not your turn, you're automatically eliminated from the
boot them. Boot their ass right on.
Yeah,
get the ass woman to suck them right on in.
Oh yeah, the German woman will be there and she'll just be like, just gone. Just
gone.
Text.
Now, Jewel Tatey says she wants to be in the Rumble, but I got news, Jewel. You got to make some appearances on episodes before you get into the Rumble. You just don't pop up. Like last year, God grace her for doing it. My wife was the last minute fill-in.
Yes, she's amazing. Your wife is so cool. She was amazing. There were some people who canceled at the end, and you were like, hey, and she performed pretty well. So of course that's coming up. There's a couple of people who we are definitely gonna have back. Natasha may be back. She did very well her last outing. Leilani Lee, we've already asked for her to come back because she did well. So over the next course of the next couple of months, I'm going to start locking people in. I've already talked to Jupiter and Johnny, who are our former champions, who we want to have back. So Jeff, what we're going to do is we're going to get into our game segment. So right now, there's only
nobody else here, is there?
So it's only me and you, dog. So this week, our game segment is going to be with myself and Jeff. So Jeff, we always start off the game segment with extreme personal questions. So you're going to get a question, and whichever question you don't answer, I'm going to get, because Rob is not back yet. He is trying to fight his way out of a vagina vortex to get back here to the show. So
question one, have you ever been sucked into a vagina vortex?
So do you want question A or question B?
Let's go with A.
A. All right. So what was the last fight? What was your last fight about with your significant other? What was your last fight about with your significant other?
Christ. Can I even say this? It had to do a little bit with this evening, because she asked if I minded if her nephews were here and her dad. And I'm thinking, I got happy hour pod. I can't have 1,000 people in here making a ton of noise. So I'm like, podcasting comes first. And I don't have to tell you the rage in her body when I say podcasting comes first. So it's not a sexy argument, but a homage to all of us here tonight.
I know about that a lot, because there's a lot of things where, and you know how I am, I book a month into advance.
Same here.
February is full. So, my wife will come up with something and be like, hey, sorry, I have the podcast that night. That's just, that's how it works. I mean, those words may not have been the best words to say, Jeffrey.
Probably not.
Yeah. But in the heat of the moment, Jeff just like, and that's the thing, like, with women, that's something that she's going to remember every day. You will be on your deathbed, and it will be at the point of that she can save you or pull the plug. And she's going to be like, podcasting comes first. And then she's going to pull the plug. And all that's happened is you literally had surgery on your hand.
Yeah.
And it won't even be that. It'll just be like, she will pull the plug and make sure you are deceased from just having surgery on your hand. Speaking of which, my hand's actually kind of.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Kind of see or whatever, but
like a
little bit of a scar or whatever there, but it was like all scabby and like skin falling off of it or whatever from when I cut it a couple weeks back.
My wife would pull the plug and then go home and podcast.
She would be like, "This is Cassie with the Yo Show. This is now my show."
My show. Fuck you, podcasting comes first.
This is Cassie with my OnlyFans podcast.
Have you ever seen my feet?
Yeah. So I get question B. So the question B is, what are you most likely to do when nobody is watching?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is not a hard thing to answer. Normally, the first second that I am by myself, I violently masturbate. Like violently. Like you've been in prison, or it's been in prison, and you haven't seen it in years. Yes. And it just like when I had that cut, like that's one of the things I think I said on the episode when I had to cut on my hand. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to like I'm right-handed, but for some reason I drive with my left hand and I jerk off with my left hand. And like I don't know why, because I do everything else. Like this is my predominantly like used hand. So I don't know why I use this hand.
It's like blonde brunette, bro. Changing up.
But like I was like, I don't know. So that was pretty easy one, pretty simple one. So and of course, guys, as I said, if this episode isn't what it normally is, it's because we were expecting to have a guest and we're just kind of, rattling things off as we go along. And sometimes this happens. We have a couple of episodes that are hidden gem episodes that we had where we had to call it on the fly because a guest did not show up. So we're going to get into Never Have I Ever. So Never Have I Ever. So the first card, Jeff, you know how this works. If you've done it, take a drink, raise your hand. You want to give an explanation, you can. If not, we will not hate you. We will, but we won't.
We won't announce it.
This one is, never have I ever been drunk at church. Never have I ever been drunk at church. Oh, Jeff. You've been drunk at church.
I got to tell you, and it's easy to understand when I give the explanation. So one of my buddies got married.
Okay.
We met at his parents' house like 9 a.m, and they had a gigantic spread of French toast and eggs and pancakes. So of course we're drinking with the breakfast. We're drinking in the limo. We're doing shots in the limo. By the time I got to church, I was whacked. And I was so loud that the priest actually, before the ceremony, pulled his mic away and said, I have to stand very far from you. You're extremely loud. And I am crying tears of laughter just going. And all my buddies were like, dude, you are bombed. I was trashed in church. My God. Shout out to my man, JT. Sorry, brother. I love you to death.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like me, the whole drunken church thing, you have to go to church in order to be drunk in church. And right. I think I've maybe been inside a church a half dozen times. And that's normally not by choice. It was either because I was trying to hook up with a chick who went to church, which I was like, oh, this isn't going to end well.
No.
When they get degraded when I'm like, yeah, but like they went to church, or I would go to a wedding that was at church. But Jeff, don't feel bad. The imaginary man in the sky is not going to hate you for getting drunk in church. That's not the way it's gonna work.
I mean, if he's up there, I swear to God, he toasted me at some point, or at least I saw that. I mean, I'm like, my man, like right in the middle of the ceremony. I swear, man.
If he hasn't showed up yet, he's probably not coming. He's too busy getting drunk on a yacht somewhere.
That's like that episode of Family Guy where it's like a custody battle, and Jesus says, I'm calling Dad to go to his place, and God's in bed with some chick, and he's like, oh, sorry, Junior, this isn't really the best time.
Exactly like that. So
right.
The next one is, never have I ever Never have I ever lied to the police. Never have I ever lied to the police. All right, Jeff, you were the only one who went last time, so I'll go first this time. Never have I ever lied to the police. I think I've told this story before. This is the only time I ever think about lying to the police because I haven't really had a lot of run-ins with the police, but there was a wrestling show. No, it wasn't a wrestling show I did. We had went out, we partied. This was the night of the infamous lacrosse ball incident. Make sure you look out for one of our old episodes of my friend who pretty much damn near killed somebody with a lacrosse ball in Walmart. But it was the night of the infamous lacrosse ball incident. And we were trying to bang some guy's wife and her friend, and we went to get beer pong balls. And we left that party that night. We had also got into a fight / wrestling match at some point, me and my best friend also. Like, I don't know why or how that happened, but we were so drunk, we drove back. And we were coming back from Glen Burnie, Maryland into our area down in Dundalk. And we went over to Key Bridge. If anybody's familiar with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, we went over to Francis Scott Key Bridge. And as we're coming up on the toll booth, that was in the day, youngins, when there were tolls and you had to pay tolls. You didn't just drive through it and it took a picture of your plate, or, you know, you had an easy pass or something like that. You had to pay a toll. So we come up on the toll booth and we see all of these blue and red lights everywhere. And we're just like, what is happening? And I'm talking about, we are obliterated. So I always had an emergency Coke in my cup holder. So I start chugging this fucking Coca-Cola, and I had like a hot dog from 7-Eleven. So I'm just downing that to make my breath not drunk breath, but like disgusting, like shit smelling breath. Like that's like, so we pull up, and what it was is it was a DUI checkpoint. So
oh my God.
And I remember we're pulling up on it. And I remember my buddy being so drunk. He's like, Ray, we're so fucked. And I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut up. And he's sitting there and he's like kind of like with his face against the glass like this. And like there's a little bit of like drool / sweat coming out of his face. I'm like, Chris, stop leaning it. Sit up. Sit up. Like at this point, like I instantly became sober at this point. So we stop. Cop comes over to the window. He's like, hey, what's up, guys? You know, we're just doing a, you know, little DUI checkpoint or whatever, you know, all that stuff. You know, just spreading awareness and all that, giving out some pamphlets. Where you guys coming from? And my buddy just kind of turns around or whatever and all that. He gets his glare in his eye. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, see, I'm a pro wrestler. We're coming back from a wrestling show. You know, this is my gear bag in the back. I reach back, I grab it. I'm like, this is my wrestling gear. He pulls it out. This time I was still gold thumb, so I had the mask on. I said, oh, that's really fucking cool. He's like, your gear's cool. You know, blah, 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 another. I'm like, yeah, you know, wrestling. I had hell beaten out of me tonight. You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, he was there. He had a great time. He had a little too much to drink. You know, whatever, this, that, another. He's like, all right, well, you know, hey, good luck with your wrestling stuff. And, you know, be safe, guys. Here's a pamphlet on drinking and driving. You guys be safe. And we pull away. We're like 5 seconds away from this cop. And I'm rolling my window up. And my buddy's like, I can't believe we got away with that. Hope he did not hear that. But I don't know if my story worked or if this cop just gave me an A for effort and was like, you know what? I'm going to let this guy go. And it made me thankful that I was too lazy to take my wrestling gear out of my car, because it gave me a viable excuse on how to get out of a DUI.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
So, Jeff, of course, you took a drink too. What was it that you lied to an officer about?
So my wife has always said, carry a stethoscope, because in the medical field, usually doctors and nurses will get kind of a pass or not really getting a hard time because cops, nurses, etc. So I had her stethoscope in the car. I get pulled over.
Okay.
And it was kind of not so much a pullover, it was kind of like a little, like a tap to the side, like they gave me the finger to pull to the side. So I went to the side, comes out, and I grabbed the stethoscope and throw it around my neck. Like a dick, because I got like a football jersey. And he's like, where are you heading? I said, well, you know, I late shift at the hospital. And, oh, you're a doctor. Yeah, I'm a doctor. Of what field? And I quickly think of where my past girlfriends of all, and I'm like, Med-Surg. He's like, I'm Med-Surg. Where at? I'm like, Abington. He's like, well, Abington's about an hour away. I'm like, oh, I know. I live far. And he's like, bad night? I'm like, well, I had this patient come in and, I'd rather not talk about it. Like, I really sell it like I'm just blown away by it. I'm like, I'd rather not talk about it. And he's like, have you been drinking? Which comes the next lie.
What makes you ask such a question?
Right. I'm a doctor, damn it.
I am a doctor. I'm a
like,
doctor drinking this delicious alcohol right here. Would you like to have some? I will do surgery on you right now.
Was I drinking tonight? And I'm like, no. He's like, all right. He's like, well, your field, I can understand a lot of stress. And this was like 2:00 commercial. I understand a lot of stress. Look like you're a little erratically driving. I'm going to follow you for about a mile. I'm like, fuck. I'm going to follow you for about a mile. Just make sure you're okay and kind of see you out. And I'm just, I mean, outer body experience. Like, and we talked about the invisible man in the sky. He literally took the car and straightened it and put me down a path on the highway. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I shit
my way to hell, dude.
Pretty sure I shit my pants. And I think half the time I'm driving, like, yeah, I'm on the highway to hell. I'm just going right into the center of the universe. But somehow I got away with it. He flashed his high beams at me to let me know he was going off. And then I got home and wept like a bitch because I got away with the craziest story I ever told.
Nice. So the last one is, never have I ever been in love with a drug dealer. Never have I ever been in love with a drug dealer.
Oof.
Okay, so I was kind of hoping that would be a dead card. Wait, oh no, wait, Jeff. Oh man, this is kind of a turn of events here that like I wasn't expecting to happen, Jeff. You're in love with a drug dealer.
So, without giving out any names, of course.
Yes. Need to protect the guilty. That's
right. I've had friends on the dirty side, and my one friend was a pharmaceutical engineer, if you will. And the location that he would go to accumulate, there was this bartender.
Okay.
And she had just, I don't know if you're an ass guy, but just like the perfectly like round, fat ass.
I like breasts a lot better than I like asses, but
I'm with you.
Need a good ass.
This was a ridiculous ass, and I started like really digging her. And one night she agreed to go out with me, and while we're out, she's like, "Oh, by the way, not only do I bartend for blank, I also deal for blank." And I'm like, "Huh?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I got a piece in the car, and I carried this, and I carried that." And instead of being scared and wanting to leave, I was getting really aroused. Like it was really working for me. I'm like, man, this is some badass shit.
I think I want to put a gun in my ass right now. Like this is how aroused I am, that I want to take your gun that you have in your car and I want you to shove it up my ass. And I want you to kick me in the balls so this thing fires. Like,
and I took this girl to my apartment that I was sharing with my brother at the time.
Yeah.
And the girl he was dating is like, "Oh my God, look at that girl's ass." I'm like, right? She's like, "I don't know what you're getting into, but I'm sure that ass will get you in trouble." And I'm thinking to myself, all the shit this girl's carrying. I'm like, it's going to get me into a lot of trouble.
You know how many times that I would be at the bar before I met my wife, and I would think to myself, that ass or those tits are going to get me into a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Normally, that is exactly what happened. 99.99.9999.9% of the time. Like,
you're trying to lie about it. Wait. Excuse my voice. I am getting over the flu. So if you hear me hacking and gargling and all that,
No, you're fine. And of course, I've never been in love with a drug dealer because I've never really done drugs or know anybody who knew a drug dealer or mess around with any of that kind of stuff. But Jeff, I have to tell you, that is probably the most Philadelphia story I've heard in the longest time. So
the girl had the greatest ass, I tell you. God.
So of course we touched on the HHPod Rumble, which the HHPod Rumble is going to be taking place right here exclusively on I'm glad I did not open this over the laptop because your story must have opened my top. because it literally just foamed over everywhere. There's actually some on the laptop and the screen. And I don't have anything to dab this up with, so I might just wipe my sock across it real quick. And that's that. But
I do it all night long. I wipe my nose and my hands on every random thing I've
what
got.
the hell happened to this? Like, I didn't even shake it up, or it just, like, you ever tap somebody's bottle and it just,
Yes.
like, it was down here, and so you didn't see it, but it literally just volcanoed. Like, you can see it built up. It literally just volcanoed out of the bottle. Like, I think what it was is that this bottle was thinking of that girl's ass.
Yes.
So it got aroused, and this bottle just exploded.
I'm not trying to get gross, but I'm pretty sure that's how my penis would explode in that girl's ass. So I'm all about what the beer bottle's doing.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Oh,
bravo.
This thing is everywhere. I'm going to give a blowjob, a blowjob instructional video trying to clean this bottle up. Like, Jesus Christ.
Let's bring back sexual world records, please.
As I said, I am not lying. I am taking my sock. I'm wiping up my floor, which is the most Baltimore, like, ghetto thing to do. But I cannot get up right now to go get paper towels. I'm going to wipe my screen with said sock as well.
I'm going to sacrifice and just take mine off for shits and giggles. No,
I just sacrificed my sock, but in another way. Like, that is the most Baltimore thing to do, because I cannot get up right now to go get paper towels because I am live on a fucking podcast. We're not like other shows where we're like, wait a minute, we'll just pause this and then we will edit it later on. No, we don't do that. We're live. That's the only way we are. Just smelling his cum-filled sock just to make sure it doesn't taste like semen. But anyways, the HHPod Rumble will be back in June. And of course, the HHPod Rumble. Shout out to Incoherent, which is one of our featured games on the show. It will be the featured game in that. So, Jeff, it's up to you, dog. You're going to get some practice for the HHPod Rumble right here tonight. So all of these cards, of course, you know, are in drunken lingo. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up this first card, and you are going to tell me what this card says. And if not, maybe I'll explode this beer again. So, all right. So what does this card say, Jeff? This is probably something that this bottle may have done to itself before it exploded. And also, if you think back to my question from Extreme Personal Questions.
Oh, damn. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can see it. I can't quite get it.
Good. Normally you're like, bam, got it. I know.
I know.
My autism has kicked in. I know that. All right, Jeff, do you want me to give it to you what it is?
Yeah. God.
Self-pleasure.
Oh, I was so close. Self-pleasure. Oh, man.
So here's the next one. What do you think this one says? You may or may not have had a man or a woman say this to you before. It is a milky mask, but it's also all natural skincare.
Ooh.
I guarantee you every single one of our guests on this show that have been in the adult industry have said this numerous times in their life.
Come on my face?
What? What is it?
Come on my face?
It is come on my face. That is what it is. It is come on my face. So
we keep saying that way too often.
What is this last one?
Sexy AF?
It is sexy AF. There you go. That's the Jeff that I know. There we go. Sexy AF. And I was talking to Rob a little bit, and he said he thinks he's good now. His house is connected to the internet, trying to get the Zoom connected. And he says that Dennis says it failed to connect. So he is having some major technical difficulties. But that happens. So, you know, Rob, we don't hate you. That's unfortunately the way stuff like that happens. So what we're going to do is, of course, this is our Ode to Humanity segment. So we end this segment with Cards Against Humanity, which is Cards Against Humanity Roulette. So this first card has 2 blanks. So each one of us are going to choose a number. So Jeff, you're going to choose a number first, and I'm going to choose a number. We're going to see what we come up with. So rumor has it, Vladimir Putin's favorite delicacy is blank.
Cock.
With blank. So
Oof.
Jeff, what number do you want?
It's 1 through 6, right?
1 through 8.
1 through 8. Let's go with 7. Lucky 7 for.
So 7. So that is Jeff's card. So I am going to go with 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So all these cards randomly drawn out of the deck. So rumor has it that Vladimir Putin's favorite delicacy is 10 incredible facts about the anus stuffed with a sweaty, panting leather daddy.
Oh, I'm keeping the shit out of that.
So you like yours. I'm not sure if I like sweaty, panting leather daddy. That's good, but I think I can do better. So I'm going to discard that. I'm going to use a rebuttal. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards left. So I am going to go with card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go with 5. Okay, so rumor has it that Vladimir Putin's favorite delicacy is 10 incredible facts about the anus stuffed with a fat, bald man from the internet. So I think the 10 incredible facts about the anus is probably coming from a fat, bald man from the internet because he knows internet stuff. So that is the first round. So the second round, Jeff, this is just you, 1 through 6. So before I run for president, I must destroy all evidence of my involvement with blank.
Christ.
And
shout out to the drug dealer with the fat ass. Let's go with 3, right in the middle.
1, 2, 3. All right. So before I run for president, I must destroy all evidence of my involvement with nunchuck moves.
We can do better.
All right. So you're going to rebuttal.
Go with 1.
1? All right.
No,
So 1.
1.
All right. So before I run for president, I must destroy all evidence of my involvement with copping a feel.
That's so real life. It's scary.
Yes. So are you going to hold with that, or are you going to use your last rebuttal?
And copping a feel is good. Let's stick with copping a feel.
All right. You're going to stick with copping a feel. All right. So those will go into the deck for next week. So that is our the humanity segment. So let's see. We're actually not going too bad on time. So time's actually been blown by a little bit. Thank you for all of you who have hung out with us tonight. As I said, unfortunately, our guest Alyssia, Vera, or Alyssia, or I'm not really too sure how to pronounce her name. I wanted to ask her that when she came in.
I thought it was Alyssia, but I could be wrong.
So, and it was probably about like 1 o'clock today when I came up with it. So I could not, find a replacement guest in time. I talked to Taylor Love. You were going to reach out to Vividly Vixen. Neither one of us
came close. Viv came so close.
And Jason said he likes my shirt. And the bottle overflowed. So Jason, yes, this is a Pod Nation TV shirt. Order one, bud. I know you have a hard time getting stuff because I don't think Jason has a bank card or a credit card. I think he uses cash for everything. But find a way to get yourself some gear. So,
and the same question he asks every time he comes around, I will be at Exotica this year.
Oh, and speaking of which, Exotica, this year I was thinking of maybe doing New Jersey and DC this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to do both because DC is in December. But however, the one in Edison, New Jersey is the weekend before Halloween. It's the 27th, 28th, and the 29th. So everybody will probably be in costume, which is kind of like along the line. And so, Jeff, I think what I will do this year is if you want to come this year, since Matt is no longer a part of the show, you can have the other press pass.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So if you want to go, you can be my +1 to Exotica.
Oh,
so just let me know. And we'll figure it out. Of course, I need to do that this week, put in the request for that. I'm not sure if we can request for the press credentials this early, but I'll find out this week. And if so, I'll let you know because normally they approve us relatively easy for that. So, but what we're going to do is I'm going to get into what I wanted to get into earlier, and that is my wife watches the TikTok. I don't really deal much.
Oh, all right.
TikTok. I don't like the TikTok, but she came along to one of the greatest segments ever in Cops history. So
my wife says all the hot guys are on TikTok.
All the hot guys are on Cops?
No, TikTok.
Oh, on TikTok. Well, that's where, you know, that's all they have. They don't have any talent or skills or anything like that. It's good looking. So, okay, so I need to find out actually where I saved this because I cannot see. And this is the thing, like I got so rattled with stuff earlier that I forgot to save things where I need to save things and all that good stuff. So just bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second, and I will get these set up and hopefully get this rocking and rolling for you guys in 1 minute. So let me
we'll run a commercial in the meanwhile.
Yes,
shout out to Derek
in the time.
Jerker.
Here it is. Okay, so here it is right here. This is one of the greatest cop segments in history, and we're going to comment on this as well.
So what's happened? What went on today?
She was scrubbing the floor, and she's 53 years old. So I grabbed a wire brush and got on the floor with her.
Okay.
And she said, I'm fixing to say something insulting. I said, all right, what? She said, are you only helping me because Timmy's on his way home? And I stood up, and I said, I don't think Timmy doesn't get off till 5:30 or 6. I was trying to help you. But I tell you what, you can do it now, you effing self.
Okay.
And I got up and went to my room. So I texted Timmy to let him know what was going on, because him and her's been having problems.
Yeah, he said that too.
And I really don't remember I either called her lazy or a liar. And she hit me dead in the mouth, and I had my glasses on, which if I was expecting a fight, I would have took my glasses off. I can't see nothing. When she hit me like that, I pushed her down on the floor and held her there. I'm sorry, I'm stronger than she is. I don't want to hurt her. Then, when I let her up, thinking she's calmed down, she grabs a can of corn. She hit me right there. And I saw stars. And then I looked on the floor, there was corn everywhere. I didn't even know I was bleeding.
Yeah, Timmy said that you're a redneck. That's
Yes,
what he said,
I
because he
am.
said you jumped on her like a grown man.
She hit me.
Well, yeah, you have every right to defend yourself. That's what I'm saying. But he said you took care of yourself pretty well.
Yeah, until I got hit with a can of corn.
Did you buy that can of corn?
Yes.
Oh,
I bought the damn can she hit me with. She going to jail. I want her to go to jail.
yeah, she's gonna go to jail
And I'm for what?
for battery.
Too bad it can't be aggravated with
Yeah,
a can of corn.
Well, yeah, I don't. It might end up being aggravated with a can of corn.
Did she clean all the corn up in the?
She actually threw the can of corn in the woods, and then I got her. But Timmy told me everything that happened, so
Timmy backed me up.
he backed you up.
Is that your friend of 30 years? He backed me up.
All right, Miss Stacy, sit tight with me. Anybody see what happened?
Oh, Christ.
I don't know if Timmy actually seen what was going. He was in there.
Is that Timmy? Are you Timmy?
Is he hiding behind the fucking telephone
She's
pole?
outside.
He's camouflaged
Where'd you come
himself.
The hell away from this board.
from, man?
I pulled them apart. They kept getting together, and I was like, fine, y'all just go on this.
Okay.
Stacy's got a cut across the back of her neck,
What's that from?
and she busted a can of corn across the neck. She threw it and broke.
So she did hit her with a can of corn.
Yes.
Okay.
She's saying.
You see the cop trying to
Yes,
keep
she-
it together with it.
Oh, I
She did.
know.
So she pushed her.
She pushed her first.
She pushed her.
Stacy's not one to just run off and just.
Then did Stacy let her have it after that, or what?
Stacy's a redneck.
She's a what?
She's a redneck.
Okay, what's that mean? What'd she do to her?
Oh, she jumped on her like a grown man.
So she went buck wild on her?
I don't want her to go to jail, but this got to stop.
Absolutely, I agree.
I love the girl to death, but
Who is that to you, and who is Stacy to you?
Stacy is like a sister.
So that's like your sister. Is this your old lady, or
My old lady.
that's your old lady? Okay. Sit tight for me, Timmy. Is that a
Maybe
suspect
that's a lot
statement?
younger than the
That's
oldest
all
one.
she could come up with.
She got up in my face, grabbed me.
Who's his old lady? The old
That
head?
was on.
Yeah. I thought that was his mom.
Right? Like that's
Yep.
his old
Can't be hitting
lady?
people with a can of corn.
Yeah. Man, Homeboy's got to do a lot better for himself. Like that.
Right. I mean, the blonde, who was a train wreck in her own right,
Yeah.
certainly was a lot hotter than the
Oh
old
yeah.
lady.
Yeah, without question. Like even with the boob sweat that she had going on, or maybe that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
corn juice. That
Yeah,
might
could
have been
be.
the corn juice. Like that's the thing. My wife shows me that, and I'm like, this is great. So now, like, I want to kind of like fall down a rabbit hole where like I watch random cops episodes and find stuff like that and pull it out because there's so much of a gold mine on shows like that.
Yes.
Where you get those random little segments and you're like, this is brilliant. This right here is art. Like that is art. Like
was art.
If you could describe America in a TV show segment,
easy.
That would be it.
Southern West America.
Yes. Corn assault would describe Maryland. It would describe not only Maryland, but the United States in general. Like just,
and that girl's a drug dealer, so I'm slightly turned on.
Oh yeah. Like Jeff's like, I'm already there. Like Jeff was like, I was aroused before I knew who she was. Like,
can I see that ass, please?
Yeah. So like that's the thing. Like I wonder like what kind of corn it was. Like
right.
Like because all of the cans pretty much have the same consistency. Like was it like one of those like little cans of like niblets? Like, was it like one of those? Was it cream corn? Right. Was it white corn? Was it sweet corn? Like, was there a specific corn chosen? Like, and I mean, also, does that upset Corn Kid? Like, if you remember Corn Kid, who sang the song Corn. Like, what does Corn Kid think about the corn assault? Like,
what does Jonathan Davis think about it from Corn? And like,
he hit me with corn, and it's really just a corn CD that bounced off of
hit me with corn.
Yeah.
Didn't really say what kind. And it's not like Green Giant, because they obviously look like they're shopping at the 1 cent store. So
yes, like you know what though? Here's my thing. Like you brought up Green Giant. There's one thing that a lot of people fail to realize, and it's like this with corn, sugar, bread, whatever. All of that shit is made in the same place.
Yes.
But they were packaged different ways. Like I know there's someone that I know that works for Domino Sugar, and they literally said the dollar store sugar is Domino Sugar. The only difference is Domino Sugar gets packaged the first conveyor belt around. If it misses, the second time it comes around, it goes into the other bag that goes to another store, because now it's not pristine quality. And it's probably the same thing with bread. The bread probably, whatever it shoots through to get into that package or whatever and all that, some of the bread probably misses. And it's like, okay, this is Schmidt. And I know because I know somebody who works for Schmidt who confirmed this, that the dollar store bread is in fact Schmidt bread.
Wow.
It's no different. So that's the thing. And it works that way with sugar. It probably works the same way with corn. It's the same fucking corn. One just has a giant on it. One is Del Monte, and one is the store brand corn.
Yeah.
But never once have I sat there and tasted corn and went, this is fucking Green Giant. And then I tasted another one and went, this is shit. This must have came from fucking Dollar General, and threw it across the living room and hit somebody with it. Like,
now I know ketchups are different. I hate to be weird, but I'm telling you.
Ketchup, if it is not Heinz ketchup,
it sucks.
No. Like Hunt's isn't bad, but if it is not Heinz ketchup, you can tell. And that's the thing, like Heinz.
Can you repeat that for my wife? Because she thinks I'm fucking crazy. Heinz ketchup or no ketchup.
Yes. And well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, have you ever watched the show, The Food That Built America?
Yes.
And well, I'm not sure if you've seen the episode with Heinz, but Heinz, they were actually behind the creation of the Food and Drug Administration.
Oh, wow.
Because what happened is when they figure it out and patent it their way to put ketchup in a clear bottle where people could see the ketchup, to see that it's not going bad, other companies duplicated it, but they would use like formaldehyde and like all kinds of weird, like deadly chemicals, keep it looking red to make it look fresh. And what was happening is people were buying these ketchups and they were getting sick and they were dying and all that shit. And so Heinz was losing money because of this. So Heinz went through the woodwork, whatever, all that, and got the Food and Drug Administration created to monitor shit like that. And all those ketchups were taken. And Heinz built an empire. Like, I mean, now it's Kraft Heinz, like Kraft, Heinz, all that stuff that's all together. But you watch The Food That Built America. It's one of my favorite shows on the face of the planet. It says how all these empires rose, Hershey's, all of the fast food wars, all that. It's very informative. Like none of that stuff you could do now because it's all owned by corporations and they buy all the stuff up. But talking about the American dream of people starting these places and building them up and what they had to go through is insane. Like
that's what I heard with very popular here in the Philadelphia Hearst potato chips.
Yes.
They didn't make their own factory. They were just getting potato chips made and shoved in a bag.
Yeah. And hers was like that. Hers is like that as well.
Yeah.
Utz is kind of the same way.
Yep.
Down this way as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into one more thing and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So the last one is an article I've been trying to get to and we haven't really had time. And this one is a woman in blackface terrorizes a Target Starbucks. So it says the Aurora PD tells TMZ that Alyssia Campbell was taken into protective custody, which usually means someone is unable to take care of themselves. So a woman in blackface showed up in Target. That's outrageous enough. Wait till you hear how she went off the rails.
Oh, God.
Alyssia Campbell sauntered into a Target in the Aurora area of Colorado and beelined for a store employee, demanding to know to find the Pride section. The employee explained Pride Month was over, and she then suggested the LGBTQ community had hijacked the American flag with the Pride flag. That's not accurate at all. Like, absolutely not accurate at all. So, says the employee was clearly taken aback. Campbell said what she was doing was no different from Lester Holt and dressing up for Halloween as Susan Boyle, a white woman. And okay, so that makes no sense. So okay,
Susan Boyle, like that singing lady?
Yeah, like apparently Lester Holt dressed up. I've never heard about that. But okay, it says her work wasn't done. Campbell also went to a Starbucks with Trump stickers emblemized on her shirt as she groused that she was fired from the post office. Okay, so let's see. So it actually shows a bulletin. It says situational awareness bulletin. And it says from the United States Postal Service. And it says prior employee Alyssia Campbell is trespassing on U.S. postal property. If you see individual on postal property, first call 911, then contact the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. So this woman is clearly batshit crazy if they were to put out this notice. And it says, we did some digging and found out that Alyssia apparently got the axe from the post office back in February, but she must have caused a similar stink there because a trespassing notice was posted Tuesday alerting employees to call the Postal Inspection Service if she showed up again. She ranted against her former coworkers online, calling them some of the loneliest, miserable, trashiest, lazy people in my life. Maybe she needs to look into a mirror. And that's pretty much it. But this is what the woman looked like and figured that this was okay. So like, imagine like as soon as she walks in, like you're sitting there thinking to yourself, like, what is going on? Like it's not even like not saying that any blackface is good blackface, but it doesn't even look like is that like what is that? Is that
like somebody took a shit on her face or something?
Yeah, like what is this? Like it's not makeup. Like, you know, like what is that? Like I don't understand. Like, you know, and I mean, did she pose specifically with like the jeans? Like, she like, I like these pants. I might want to buy these later. So let me take this selfie. Like, is that a selfie that she took? Or is that like, because if that's Target video, that's really good fucking Target surveillance video. Like, and so look, I guess like there's like other video. Like, it looks like she's in like, that's the Starbucks. So that's her in the Starbucks stuff. So
wow. Shout out to Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Professor.
Shout out to Steamboat Willie. And this is what she looks like.
She's not a bad looking woman. Crazy.
So if anybody sees her near a post office, make sure you call the police because obviously this woman is fucking nuts. Like, you know, and that's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. We need people control in this country, like bad, because these motherfuckers are insane. Just crazy, bad shit. Like, I'm going to walk out and I'm going to wipe my hand in dog shit and I'm going to rub it all over my face and I am going to terrorize Target And that's the way it's going to be. Fuck shopping there. No, I need to terrorize people. Like, because people are crazy. So, but if she's watching the show, shout out and thank you for watching the show. You are insane. You're absolutely insane. I know our demographic is a very like degenerate type demographic, but Jesus Christ.
When I see my friends that like my posts when I come on here, I'm always like, you sick bastard, I knew it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like you brought up, like Jewel wants to be a part of the Rumble or whatever and all that. I'm like, do you realize what all you're going to be surrounded by in the Rumble? And I mean,
I gotta call her out. Not to cut you off, I gotta call her out because she messaged me and said, ran late, saw the message about the invite to do the show tonight. My mom's here. It's not happy hour pod type scenario. I'm so mad at her right now because mom knows.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, and I can't sit there and completely hate. Like, that's not me. I'm not a hater. I know what our show is. And I know you've told me before, and I was like, she wouldn't be able to make it through 2 hours on this program because if I knew she was on here and I would do things that I know would break her. And that's how I am, because it's the kind of thing of, this is what our program is. And it's not me just being a jerk. It's just me being natural. That's who I am. Like, I've always been very outspoken. I've always been this is who I am. I texted my best friend yesterday. I'm like, bro, you remember when we sat there and we said that we should write a book? Like, we wanted to write a novel of, me and him have been best friends since 6th grade. From the time we met from 6th grade all the way up to the time when we met our wives. And just the craziness. And this doesn't even count my wrestling career, when I would get into craziness with my wrestling, guys. Like, just me and that group of friends that I had, and us running through the desert looking for strippers and cocaine. Like, that kind of stuff that, like, we got into on a nightly basis. That I was like, we could have a series of novels of just the insane shit. Some of it of which I get into here. Some of it has since been beaten out of my brain from pro wrestling. And a lot of it we cannot discuss because the statute of limitations will probably never expire, or the police will be like, that's a little weird. Or, it's the kind of thing of, we also want to protect the innocent and also not expose certain things in life that, we may or may not have done.
Right. And the fact that we got away with some of this stuff, I'm sure at this point.
Yes.
Although, if you are a fat ass drug dealer in the city of Philadelphia, be on alert because they're looking for you. Imagine all these girls with nice asses, be like, maybe her.
Yes, give Jeff a call. Jeff will be providing his number, momentarily. So, but what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead. We're going to wrap up tonight. Of course, thank you for everybody who tuned in. Once again, I apologize that our guest was not able to make it tonight. But when we say we're going to go live, that's exactly what we do. Thank you to Eric. Thank you to Jason. Thank you to Walter, I believe it was, Eric. All kinds of people who commented in the thread. And of course, thank you to all of you watching us here on YouTube, and thank you to all of you watching on Pod Nation TV, on Roku and Fire TV. These episodes don't normally do as many numbers because we don't obviously have a famous, attractive woman on the show like normal.
Unless you like men.
Still appreciate you taking the time. We will be back here again next Friday. So next Friday, we'll be back 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Our featured guest will be Avery Jane. Avery Jane will be joining us here on the show. And I also recently talked to, we haven't announced it yet, so I'm going to announce it right now. Our good friend Onyx Muse will be back as a guest co-host. So she will be here. Of course, she has her own show that she's going to be starting up. So we'll talk to her a little bit about that. She will be here to hang out with us and Avery Jane. We were going to debut a new Smasher Dash tonight. And it was going to be Smasher Dash, the Bloody Face edition, which would have been everybody with their faces covered in a crimson mask. And you would have to look through the blood and say whether or not you would let this person with the blood on their face just hover over you and drip their bloody bloodness all over you while So actually, Vib probably would have been a good one for that.
It would have been great.
But so anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on the Happy Hour podcast. Make sure you follow us online. Make sure you follow Jeff and the Yo Show. Jeff, what is coming up on the Yo Show, my man?
So this Tuesday night, we have an awesome, awesome singer-songwriter, Erin Coburn. When I tell you this girl is super hot in the world of music, I'm telling you, man, check it out. Tuesday night, the Yo Show. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. She is awesome. And of course, shout out to my friends, the Key Concert Series coming to Warminster, Pennsylvania. Live shows featuring 4 bands once a month. Can't wait. Excited for it. And Ray, as always, man, thank you for letting me be a little more myself and joining you on this program. Shout out to Joy. I love you. But, you know, I'm at about a level 6 with Jewel, not a level 9 with Ray.
So once again, make sure you got Find Pod Nation TV on your Roku and your Fire TV. You can watch our episodes. We're going to start doing live things there once we figure this shit out. I have the unfortunate task of telling Rob, yeah, man, the dual screen stuff doesn't work because we still want to air live here on YouTube for all of you guys, you know, for you guys to be able to interact. But as I said, that's a work in progress. It could be many months from now before we finally figure it out, but we do want to do live streams on Roku. So we will figure out how to do that. We will have a lot of exclusive Roku content coming up. It's going to be a pretty fun year here on the Happy Hour podcast. And as always, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next time.